This is a knick-knack that my sister got me from Disney World when she went, and she got it for me as a souvenir. And every time I see it sitting on my desk, I always think it's a rotten orange. So then it occurred to me, dragons. They come from rotten oranges. It all makes sense now. And today's question of the day is, what is your favorite holiday? Mine is Thanksgiving because it's food, family, friends, football. The four big F's, and it's the best holiday ever. So what is your favorite holiday? And here's a battle with Pwbt2008 from YouTube, otherwise known as Ant, and we've met each other on the Cerebi chat room, and we decided, hey, let's both record, and we'll battle. Cool. So I do the Roserade, he leads with the Gengar, he has the Hidden Power Fire, I guess, for Scizor, and he uses it, so Roserade takes a little bit of damage for that. So I decide to Sleep Powder, and now I'm going to Toxic Spikes on the switch, and he decides to switch in his Scizor. And, you know, I'm thinking you'll probably Bullet Punch, but I do have Hidden Power Fire on this Roserade, so I just want to use it, just in case he decides not to Bullet Punch, but he does anyway, so, Roserade goes down, and that's kind of bad. So I go into Jolteon, and he's actually going to stay in and, Bullet Punch me, and I guess this is Choice Banded, because it actually does about half after the resistance, so I'm guessing this Scizor is Choice Banded. But my Jolteon is Choice Specs, and I'm just going to Thunderbolt, and that's going to take down the Scizor because of the Choice Specs, and that's pretty cool. And he's now going to go into a Machamp, and I'm pretty sure I can't one-hit KO the Machamp, but I want to get as much damage on it anyway, because I know the destructive power of Machamp. I mean, as you know, I've used it in many battles, and it has a lot of destructive power. So I decided to just hit it with a Thunderbolt to do as much damage as possible and let him finish me off with a Dynamic Punch. So that's rather whatever. And he's going to get hit down by the poison a little. And now he's at red health, I can just go in a Swallow and Brave Bird it for the kill. Because, you know, even without the Guts boost, Brave Bird is still super effective and pretty powerful move, so there you go. And Swallow gets poisoned due to the Toxic Orb, and he's going to go out into Gliscor. And I'm not going to be able to do a whole lot to Gliscor using Swallow, so I decided to just U-turn out, predicting the Ice Fang. And I decided to U-turn into Suicune because he can take the Ice Fang pretty well. And he does go for the Ice Fang. Suicune is virtually unaffected, and that's that. So I'm predicting a switch here. So I'm just going to Calm Mind because, you know, he's just going to switch and kind of pointless to do anything else. And it goes into a Porygon-Z, and he probably has Thunderbolt, and he's probably Scarf, because that's what most Porygon-Zs are these days. So I'm just going to Surf, because I know I can take a Thunderbolt after Calm Mind. I mean, it is effing Suicune, and he only does even less than half, so there you go. And I'm just going to Surf, and that's a dead Porygon-Z, after the Toxic, anyway. After the Poison, rather. So, he's going to go out into Blaze, which is his Vaporeon, and I have nothing to hurt Vaporeon, so I'm just going to roar it away because I can. And he's going to go for the Hidden Power Electric, so now I know he does have Hidden Power Electric, and he goes out into Gengar, and seeing it's asleep, and it doesn't have a turn of sleep yet, I'm just going to Calm Mind, because that's a guaranteed turn of sleep right there. And I'm just going to go for a Surf, hoping he doesn't get a first turn wake, but he does, and that kind of sucks. But he gives me a Choice Scarf, which isn't all in itself bad, because I did use Surf there, so there you go. I'm locked into Surf, but now I am locked into Surf, and he goes into Vaporeon, and, you know, that's not good, because that means I'm just going to heal Vaporeon. And, yeah, I'm going to switch it. And I decided to switch out into Metagross, and he predicted the switch pretty well, and Surfed, but then again, I really had to switch, so, yeah. I guess. So he goes into, I go into a Metagross, and this is a Gilligross. Good thing for me, he decides to protect his high agility, and that's pretty epic on my part, because I got a free agility there. And he got some poison damage, and I got some leftovers back. I'm just going to Earthquake. I don't really feel like exploding quite yet, because, you know, it's too early for that. And he decides to Surf, and I think Earthquake's going to be a 2-hit KO, so I'm just going to go for it again. So yeah, I'm just going to go for an Earthquake here, and he, you know, predicts it and decides to go into Gliscor. It's a pretty nice prediction there. And, yeah, that's that. So I'm going to go into Claydol, because I'm kind of predicting an Earthquake here, and I really don't want to lose Metagross quite yet. And I go into Claydol, he Stealth Rocks, and Claydol is Rapid Spin anyway, and I know I can take an Ice Fang pretty well, because of Claydol's pretty good defenses. and Gliscor's lack of offensive. And yeah, I set up Stealth Rocks on my own, then I Rapid Spin because I can, and that gets rid of the Stealth Rocks. And I'm just going to see how much Shadow Ball does, because I really have nothing better to do. Yeah. So I go with the Shadow Ball. He gets a crit on the Ice Fang, which kind of blows. I Shadow Ball. And he's going to predict the switch and Stealth Rocks. And I decide to switch in his Suicune to scare Gliscor away, because that's cool. And I'm going to switch out into Swellow, predicting the switch into predicting the switch into Vaporeon, and he does give it to me. Switch into Vaporeon. That's pretty much good game, because Swellow can 2-hit KO Gliscor with Facade, and 1-hit KO this Vaporeon with Facade, so that's pretty much good game, even if he switches or stays in or whatever, so yeah. I'm just going to let him kill Swellow here, because I don't want to risk a Earthquake critting my my Suicune, so I decide to stay in Facade, let him kill me, and then go into my Choice Scarf Vaporeon for the win. So good game. Ant, or Pwbt2008. I'm leaving his link in the description. Check him out. He's a pretty good YouTube battler. And rate, comment, subscribe, guys. And yeah, just good game. Peace.